From time to time, I do portfolio updates, usually in $5,000 increments, 5K, 10K, and so on. But when I don't reach the 5K increment and time has passed, I just do an update regardless of the portfolio value. For those who are new to the channel, welcome to this portfolio update. We do things differently. Instead of showing you all the information straight from the brokerage account, I created an easy to follow infographics where I go through the portfolio value, holdings, performance, gains or loss, and much more. So if you would like to see more portfolio updates and how I continue to grow my investments, make sure to hit that subscribe button to follow the journey. We have a portfolio value of $14,565.34, including $167.91 in buying power. The dividend yield of this portfolio is 3.01%. This translates to $405.74 in projected annual dividends. This portfolio currently consists of 21 holdings. At the bottom of the screen, we can see the performance versus the S&P 500. I'm getting demolished this year. Now, beating the S&P 500 is not an easy task, and you do not need to beat it in order to reach your financial goals. The purpose of this portfolio is to create a growing cash flow through dividend growth investing that will eventually cover my expenses. So again, beating the S&P 500 will bring superior results, and those are welcome, but they are not needed for the endgame. Before going through my holdings, I want to get the sector allocation out of the way. I am a consumer defensive heavy. It is my largest sector by a mile. These are low return consistent businesses that can withstand economic downturns while providing a growing dividend. These companies are straightforward, easy to understand, easy to analyze, and they just bring pure stability to my portfolio. In the near future, I plan to increase my tech sector. That's literally where the capital allocation is. So I do want to get exposure to that. But overall, sector-wise, the portfolio looks diversified. Now moving on to the holdings. These are the 21 holdings I own in my portfolio. We have Apple, Colgate, Coca-Cola, Realty Income, Stag Industrial, Procter & Gamble, Waste Management, Clorox, Kroger, Kimberly-Clark, Starbucks, JP Morgan Chase, Home Depot, Johnson & Johnson, Nike, Digital Realty Trust, AbbVie, Texas Instrument, Hershey's, Pepsi, and Visa. This is a combination of blue chip defensive companies and fast cash flow generating businesses. I try to consistently cover both ends to be offensive but at the same time defensive throughout my investing journey. My top 3 holdings are Digital Realty Trust with 6.9%. This is a data center cloud computing real estate business. Then we have Starbucks with 8.7%. Starbucks doesn't need an introduction. And my largest holding, Hershey's with 10.4%. I made a video of why I'm buying Hershey's, which goes through some fundamentals and investor relations info that got me buying heavily. This is not the first time I've done this. In the past, I did the same thing with Starbucks and it turned out into a great buy. Following my thesis with Hershey's, this should turn out well. Will Hershey's remain my largest holding? No. Even if it goes up in capital appreciation over time, I'm reinvesting my dividends and putting my contribution in other opportunities, so the Hershey allocation will level down. Moving forward, for the first time in my portfolio updates, I'm showing you my shares owned per position. I try to find ways to add more transparency to my updates, and I believe this is a good addition. So we have a combination of amounts here. We have some companies in the 15 share range, others above 5 shares, and so on. The purpose of this is to add additional information that goes in hand with the portfolio allocation. From now on, this will be part of every update so you can see the share count grow over time. Next up, we have the annual dividend per holding. In the last updates, we have AT&T taking the lead in payments. Since I sold AT&T along with 3M, Realty Income is the #1 payer in my portfolio, bringing in almost $50 per year. Now, don't get fooled by Realty Income's long column. It makes other positions look like they don't bring any income. I own companies like Digital Realty Trust, AbbVie, and Hershey's that they are bringing roughly $35 yearly. Now we're moving to the average cost versus capital gains or loss. This graph is pretty simple. In blue, we have the average cost of my holdings, and in gray, we have the capital gain or loss. If the gray is above the blue, it means that my position has unrealized gains. If it's under, then I have unrealized loss. So most of my holdings are in gains. We can notably see Apple and Digital Realty Trust with massive gains. We have some losers as well. Realty Income getting hammered by the high interest rate environment, and Hershey's with the increase of capital expenditure this year. I am not concerned with the Hershey's drop. As mentioned before, I made a video of why I'm buying more. Overall, I would prefer to see a downtrend where it stays constantly down for a period of time so I can be on a buying spree. But that dream aside, the portfolio is doing great. Now we have the total return, so we can see how the capital gain or loss looks in percentage. So putting emphasis on realty income and Hershey's, they are only down 10%. So it's not like a massive loss dragging the portfolio down. As mentioned, I do think that Hershey stands at a good valuation, so I've been adding from time to time. The same with realty, I've been adding but in smaller amounts. REITs usually get crushed in high interest environments, but as soon as the interest starts to go down, then we might see a recovery. Now, as for the winners, Apple is the backbone of the portfolio. The gains are so massive that if Apple goes down, my portfolio will go down as well. In order to mitigate this dependency, I stopped investing in Apple a while back. Only DRIP is activated in this stock. As for the others, KO, Stag, Procter & Gamble, Starbucks, JP Morgan, Home Depot, and Digital Realty Trust have been amazing companies to own and could be adding to them in any year-to-date drop. Overall, for being a small investor with very little time invested, I think I'm doing pretty good and will continue to do so. The consistency of tracking, contributions, reinvestment, and expanding my knowledge will allow me to stay on track and accomplish my goals. So that will be it for this portfolio update. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree or disagree with any of my holdings and explain why. Other than that, thanks for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.